It's more important to have savings than insurance. You know what? You're right. Savings is important. But guess what? Minsan, kahit gaano pa kalaki yung savings mo, it will not cover the entire amount that you need for certain dreaded diseases, accidents, or job loss. That's why insurance is so important, so that you don't touch your savings or para hindi ka umutang ng malaki that will put you in debt for the rest of your life. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Joyce Pring TV. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification button to make sure that you see every time I upload new episodes. I know that we've been doing Adulting with Joyce Pring for 3 years now, so I decided to create a series here on YouTube called Adulting Crash Course. Naisip ko lang na marami tayong mga bagay as young adults that we have to figure out on our own. For example, social media, insurance, taxes, having multiple streams of income. And I just felt like it would be nice to create a series on this that hopefully will help you guys understand these things better. Please know that I am not an expert, but all that I am giving to you are things that I've actually experienced and learned along the way. Currently, I'm 28 years old, and the first time that I actually started doing all of these adulting stuff was pretty early because I started working when I was 17 while I was still in college, and I moved out of my parents' house at 18. So, ang dami kong na-figure out, like moving out, budgeting, handling my finances, investing at such an early age. And I want to share with you guys some practical tips that I've also learned along the way. For today's video, I wanted to talk about insurance. Might be a big word for you if you're not too familiar with it, but it could actually be a simple concept if you care to spend some time to try and understand it. When we're making big adulting decisions, yun yung una natin kailangan pag-isipan. Like, what are the things that have been happening around us and how can we respond well to them? A lot of us have lost jobs. I personally was out of a job for 4 or 5 months in the beginning of the pandemic. A lot of us have lost loved ones as well. And, now we're starting to open up the economy. And I just feel like if you're someone who doesn't have the luxury of working from home, insurance may just be one of the most important things that you can get for yourself and for your loved ones. So what is insurance exactly? So insurance is a financial tool that provides compensation in the instance of illness or death. I remember reading the book Automatic Millionaire at around 18 years old, and the first thing that author talked about was getting yourself insurance, or the concept of paying yourself first. What does paying yourself first mean? It basically means every time you get money, you invest it in yourself for the long term. Now, we talked about this extensively in my podcast episode with Coach Yani Moya, who is a financial coach. Every time you get your money, pag nakasweldo ka, yung 20% nun, babawasan mo na kaagad para sa savings. Or in Automatic Millionaire, he also talks about 10% of your money automatically goes to insurance so that no matter what happens, if you're sick or if you lose your job, meron ka nang nakatabi na pera that will cover you and compensate you during that time. So that's basically what insurance is. If you've never gotten insurance, basically what happens is meron kang premium na babayaran for 1 year, at dahil dun sa premium na yon, pwede kang makover anytime that you get sick or anytime that you may pass away. Because we have to understand, as grim as it may sound, we all are gonna face death one day. So we want to be covered not just for ourselves but also for our family. Meron mga insurance na you pay the premium for 5 years or 10 years and then you're covered na for a lifetime. Meron din naman yung mga insurance that gives you the chance to pay one time and then covered ka na for a certain period or a certain amount of time. I also know that there are also prepaid insurance these days wherein you buy insurance pero meron siyang limit. So halimbawa magbabayad ka ng 20,000 pesos, tas pwede mo siyang magamit for 100,000 pesos worth of anything that's health related pero for 1 year lang siya active. Pag hindi mo siya nagamit, hindi mo na siya mababalik. So that's basically what insurance is. I think it's one of the best investments that you can make at even a young age. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's cheaper to get insurance when you're younger. The older that you get, the bigger your premium is. So that's why it's better to get it when you're young. I actually got my first insurance plan when I was 23 years old, and I'm gonna tell you about the 2 types of insurance that you can get. 2 types of insurance that is mostly talked about. The first one is health insurance. Basically, ito yung insurance na pag nagbayad ka, pwede ka nang magpa-check up, doctor's visit, or if anything happens to you na kailangan mong ma-hospital, emergency room, etc., etc., you're gonna be covered. So, meron siyang limit usually, pero halimbawa, magbabayad ka ng 10,000 pesos. May limit siya na, meron ka ng coverage for 50,000 or 100,000 pesos. And yun yung binabayaran mo for health insurance. You might be familiar with the term HMO, which stands for Health Maintenance Organization. Ito yung mga businesses and organizations that usually if you are an employee, pwede kang kunan ng company mo to actually get you covered for your health insurance. Meaning, mako-cover ka na niya kung magkakasakit ka man or kung kailangan mo ng mga annual checkups, ganyan. So that is what health insurance is. The second part naman is life insurance. And it's kind of paradoxical because it's called life insurance. But in reality, what happens is your family gets money when you die. That's what happens. So sa health insurance, it's more for you, that covers you. Life insurance naman is what covers your loved ones and your family. Meaning, if you are somebody that is taking care of your siblings, o kaya naman meron ka ng sarili mong mga anak, kailangan mo to make sure na they're covered and protected for kahit na mawala yung stream of income mo or pag namatay ka, 'di ba? Parang meron kang untimely death or alam mo na merong severe illness that runs in the family and you're kind of like afraid na baka magkaroon din ako noon in the future. Getting life insurance really covers you for that because your family and your loved ones or yung mga taong beneficiaries mo will get a certain amount of money from the insurance company when your demise happens, which is not a very romantic idea but it's very, very practical. So yun yung top 2 na pwede mong pag-isipan, na pwede mong kunin for yourself, health insurance or life insurance. But I just wanted to add this, VUL. Itong type of insurance na to ay yung meron ako and what I got when I was 23 years old. And the reason why I like it is because it's actually a merging of investment and also insurance. So basically, may premium ka na babayaran and that premium gives you a health rider or nako-cover ka na for health insurance. But at the same time, it also works as an investment. So halimbawa, yung VUL ko nun, kahit na hindi ako nagkasakit, I was able to pull it out nung 2020 because 5 years na siya, nag-mature na siya, at wala akong binayaran na extra to pull it out and I still got my money back. The difference with other insurance naman, katulad nung health or nung life insurance, ang alam ko ay hindi mo siya makukuha kung ano man yung binayad mo na premium unless you pass away or you get sick. So, andun na siya. It's like an investment that doesn't really grow, but VUL is an investment that grows just in case you are healthy, diba? You don't get sick a lot, and you don't pass away during the time that you're paying your premium. That is the big question. And that was also the question that I asked myself a lot when I was in my early 20s and I had no idea what I was doing with my insurance plans. Because I said, I'm healthy naman hindi ko naman kailangan yan. Wala naman kaming history of dreaded disease sa family, etc., etc. But what I realized is insurance really is there to cover you for things that you cannot control or that come at you from nowhere, like this pandemic. So insurance is very important because life is so unpredictable. A pandemic could happen, you could get sick, and you might need more money. So the worst thing that could happen is if you get sick, tapos wala kang insurance, and then you get all of your savings to pay for your hospital bills, etc., etc. O kaya naman, alam mo na sa sarili mo na meron kang history nung ganun sa family, di ba, na kailangan ng health insurance talaga, at hindi ka nakabili ng health insurance na yon, magulat ka na lang one day na, na-diagnose ka na isang isang sakit or an accident happens. And if you don't have that, you won't have enough money to cover for it. So that's when problems really arise. And of course, as we know, because of COVID-19 now, it's so important to get insurance dahil alam naman natin how expensive it is when you get a positive COVID-19 test and then you have to be hospitalized, all the medications, etc. It's so difficult if you have to pay for that with your savings or with the money that you have. So insurance would be a great thing to have right about now. And yes, another thing, with the benefits of insurance, you and your dependents don't have to dip into your savings in case of emergencies. If somebody needs to go to the hospital, kung covered siya, hindi nyo na kailangan gumastos pa ng extra for it if you already paid for your premium. And as I mentioned earlier, mas mura nga ang insurance plans in your 20s. So if you are in your 20s right now, if you buy it, mapapansin nyo na yung premium is much smaller than when you get older, when you are in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. And usually, companies are more lenient for those who get insurance when they're younger until they grow older. And ako, for example, yung insurance na meron kami ni Juancho that I got it when we were 27 years old. It's insurance that covers us for a lifetime. So, sobrang baba lang yung premium na binabayaran namin. And we're gonna pay that same amount because we were 27 when we got it for the next 5 or 10 years and still be covered for the rest of our lives. So that's why it's so important. Here are some common misconceptions about insurance. It's just an added expense. Well, technically it is an added expense, but it's more of an investment than just an expense because at some point you will get sick, at some point you will die. And so insurance would be very, very efficient and important during that point in your life. I don't need coverage because I'm single and I don't have dependents. Guess what, single people? Even you guys need insurance. Even if you don't have dependents, you still have to take care of yourself and watch out for yourself. Even more so, diba? Kasi you don't want naman for your other family members, like your parents, to worry about you pag nagkasakit ka or anything happens to you or you lose your job, for example. There are insurances with regards to that, and I'll share that with you in just a short while. Even as a single person, even as a healthy person, you never know. Insurance, just think of it as like a cushion that will keep you safe if anything happens. It's more important to have savings than insurance. You know what? You're right. Savings is important. And we talk a lot about that in the finance series on Adulting with Joyce Pring. But guess what? Minsan, kahit gaano pa kalaki yung savings mo, it will not cover the entire amount that you need for certain dreaded diseases, accidents, or job loss, or certain experiences or situations that will just take you out of your breath. Paano kung hindi mako-cover ng savings mo, di ba? Yung mga nangyari sa'yo, if in case na pwede palang makover ng insurance company mo. So that's why insurance is so important, so that you don't touch your savings or para hindi ka umutang ng malaki that will put you in debt for the rest of your life. Getting insurance is a long and tedious process. I don't have time for it. It's just too complicated. Well, guess what? That's why I'm here right now to try and simplify it for you guys. Kaya wala akong mga big words na hindi nyo masyadong maintindihan. And at the same time, ngayon, companies are actually making an effort out of creating insurance plans that are very easy for you to apply for, to understand, and even to do, even online. Recently, Juancho and I got our own insurance as well, HMO. We just did the briefing sa online, di ba, with the agent. Tapos nagbayad kami online. And then, papadala na lang nila yung card namin sa bahay. So, ganun lang siya kadali. Hindi na siya ganun ka-complicated katulad ng dati. And guess what? Apart from this video, you can always look at other YouTube videos that explain insurance in a more detailed manner should you need it. Getting insurance is not always expensive. It's all about finding a plan that fits your lifestyle and your budget. If you're looking for insurance that's affordable and accessible because it's just in your app, check out GCash's G-Insure. That's right. All you have to do is go to your GCash app. Tapos makikita nyo doon yung parang icon na nakalagay G-Insure. You tap on that and it can actually give you options for plans on covering you with insurance for health, sickness, accidents, income loss, and so much more. So first, you get a test allowance. You can get cash for a positive dengue test worth 500 pesos. Second, you can get confinement allowance. So pag nag-positive ka with COVID-19 or dengue and then you get confined for it, you can get up to 40,000 pesos in coverage. Third and finally, you can get medical cost reimbursement for up to 100,000 pesos if you are diagnosed with and also confined with severe dengue and COVID. O kaya naman, if you don't want that, pwede rin na yung free insurance mo ay gamitin mo for G-Insure's income loss insurance, which basically means that in the case that you get into an accident or death with one of their covered causes, you and your family will get cash in replacement for your income. There are also other plans that you could check out for as low as 300 pesos that will cover you for COVID, dengue, income loss, and so much more. Pwede kang magbayad ng 300 pesos lang per year for up to 140,500 pesos na coverage. Sa silver naman, for just 550 pesos per year, you have up to 281,000 pesos in coverage. And for gold naman, you can get for just 700 pesos a year, up to 421,500 pesos in coverage. And what's great about this is you can actually get protection not just for yourself, but also for your extended family. So halimbawa, nakuha mo na yung 300 pesos na for 1 year of coverage, that's up to 140,500 pesos. Pwede mo na rin ikuha yung spouse mo or yung life partner mo with another 300 pesos. And then, for children, 17 years old to 22 years old, same amount lang din for 140,500 pesos coverage. And then, pwede rin for children na 30 days old to 16 years old na 750 pesos per year for up to 140,500 coverage. Pwede nyong tignan kung ano yung mga bagay na nako-cover nitong babayaran nyo. Pero for just 300 pesos, I mean, per year na yon ha, makukuha nyo na tong insurance na to. So last few tips for you guys to remember when getting your insurance. First, of course, huwag nyo naman ilagay lahat ng pera nyo into a big insurance plan. I think that's one mistake that we want to avoid, which is buying expensive insurance and not really thinking about it, not saving up enough for your emergency funds na madali mong magamit, and to stay liquid is also very important during this time. Make sure that you understand your lifestyle and your current needs. I super suggest that you get G-Insure if you are the type of person that still goes to the office or if you travel a lot, even amidst the pandemic because of the work that you have to do, just because you're more exposed to things like dengue, COVID, and other accidents and illnesses that could be covered for just 300 pesos per month. Third and finally, always plan for your future. Alam naman natin that it's hard to start thinking future forward dahil ang daming nangyayari right now. But one of the smartest things that we can do as young adults is to start thinking about our future before it even gets to us and before we even get super busy with life. So that's it for this episode on insurance. Guys, sana nakatulong sa inyo ang konting information or maraming information na binigay ko sa inyo through this video. Hopefully, it gave you an idea of how you can get insurance, how you can plan for your future, and how insurance can actually work for your benefit instead of just thinking of it as added expense, because it's really not. It's an investment into your future that your future self will thank you for. Again, insurance doesn't have to be extremely expensive. It could be as low as 300 pesos. It could be a bit more than that, diba? Kung meron kang mas may budget. But at the end of the day, what you want to think about is covering yourself and your loved ones for the future. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and please do watch the next episode of Joyce Pring TV. Paalam!